Hey guys.
All right. Here we are live again. Excited. Another announcement. We're going to share some good stuff. I'm actually going to start this first by listening to Mike and Jay's opening to a podcast because it resonates with me. You guys good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. I'm going to crank it up for all the viewers out there just so they can hear it.
Excited.
Here's the big question. How are agents like us, who didn't get an opportunity to invest in a franchise early, who are spending time and money to sell homes, building someone else's saleable asset? How do we grow a business but still build wealth? Have an exit strategy and get a piece of the pie that's not dependent on us working more hours in every weekend? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is...
All right, I'm going to cut it there.
Yeah.
That's great, man. We're going to make openings for these from now on, just so everybody can kind of hear what this is all about.
I love it.
And this headline is actually pretty important because Paris, welcome. And she just left a 100% commission split to join us here at eXp. So there must be something to this, right? And in the past, 14 months, I think we got, we're growing quick. That's what I could tell you. And by December, we're going to have a large number with us here locally. So I guess let's get to the bottom of it, Paris. So tell us a little bit about you and your real estate career, and tell us a little story. Go ahead.
First of all, thank you guys for taking your time out, especially Jay. I know your time is very, very valuable. So thank you, both of you.
It's a privilege and honor to be here.
A little nervous here. As always, this is like a second interview. You feel like you're being an anchor. So a little bit about my background. I ran a successful business. Okay, let me go back. Okay, coming from a business background, I ran a successful beauty salon for the past 22 years in downtown Philadelphia. And when I transitioned into real estate, it was, oh my God, it was like night and day. I've dealt with people before. I've dealt with women, very wanting things, but this industry is a whole different beast. Okay. I was in it for a surprise. Seriously. A couple months in, I knew that I needed a system. And without a system, you can't really grow and duplicate yourself. Because everything you do, you have to have a good coach and a system if you ever want to scale. If you want to do it small, do it by yourself. But if you want to scale, you got to have a system. So with that being said, that was one of the key points why I left a 100% company to come in here.
So basically you're saying that not to throw shade on any brokerage or anything, but you didn't feel like they were giving you the tools to be successful in real estate.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon. It's odd. Honestly, it's kind of shocking. And it's not a surprise to me that most agents get out of the business in the first couple of years. I think the number that I last read was like 80% or something like that, which is a lot. Yeah. And, but when you really think about it, like they don't give you any tools, like no brokerage. They don't give you a value proposition or a promise to make that the company backs up. Yeah. Like it's just, there's nothing there. It's literally up to you. And like to get your take the test, get your license, and then it's like, good luck, figure it out, which is bizarre to me. It's just bizarre to me that there's not more support in the brokerage model today, but I'm happy that it is the way it is because it makes this opportunity for all of us that much bigger. So
absolutely,
it's all good. So Matt.
Yeah. So I just wanted to, I'm going to piggyback that, right? Because there are independent brokerages, signing up. There's people that are selling their franchises to jump in and be on board with this. And, I had the opportunity, I could open Matt Curcio Real Estate. I had a group of people. I could have sold real estate as a group on my own, but Paris, you said the word scale. It's not scalable. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit, but there's a lot of technology and a lot of things that are happening to this business. And once I saw the eXp model, it's just a better way than trying to recreate it. Somebody already invested 10 years now into eXp. And, it's the fastest growing company ever. with opportunities that are much more, much bigger than those of our competitors and any brokerages out there, in my opinion. So with that, Jay, why don't you tell us, break down for everybody in the area, the eXp model, and we'll talk about it a little more.
Man, you know what? I want to ask a question so bad. Can I please ask Paris a question?
Yeah.
Before we get into the model, because
Sure.
because I think it's fascinating, and there's, I think, a good takeaways for anybody that's watching. So my wife has a friend that owns a salon, and she's actually, due to her husband's job, has been moved and had to start over a whole lot, right? So, which is hard. Like, it's really hard, no matter what business that you're in, having to like start it over 4 or 5 times or every few years or whatever, would be really hard. And she was in your industry, so you've been 22 years in the business.
Yes.
And what were some things, in order for you to be successful? What was it? Obviously there's referrals and there's repeat business, but what was the heart and soul of your success in that business?
Service is number one.
Right.
Quality.
Right.
And all of that equals to trust. When they have trust, it's just a duplicatable business. They'll refer you out.
Right.
So those are some of the key points, how we even lasted this long. So till this day is 24 years, but I quit that 2 years ago to go into real estate.
Well, congratulations on building a successful business. And there's no question that those things parallel in the success in real estate, the things you have to do to be able to be successful in real estate. I think the challenge is, and this was just something that my wife's friend had mentioned, was that if she was able to, if she could get a handful of customers, she knew that she could get referrals and she could start to build. And in real estate, that's the way a lot of real estate agents build their business. They build their business based on a handful of deals from sphere and influence. And then, those turn into more referrals and more deals. And if you can hang in there long enough, there might be a career of doing, 15 to 20 deals a year for a long period of time. And the longer you're in it, maybe it gets a little bigger over time. And because some people move away and, they don't refer anymore and things of that nature. But so it's kind of an interesting thing like that. That's really what I think most brokerages are hanging their hopes on, is that you're going to come in, you're going to sell a handful of people that they like and trust you. And then, if you happen to make it long enough, you'll stick around and sell a handful of houses a year. And so, that's just not the only way to grow a real estate business, right? Like and not that it's a bad thing. That's a pillar of your business. This should be your sphere of influence and referrals. But I think what we've always taught and what we find in, the training that we provide is that there are a lot of ways to acquire new customers. And, if you have the right tools and that you have the right training and you have the right coaching, as you mentioned, then you can do these things much faster when you have the right systems in place. And so, that's the key. And it's ironic because, we built a really big coaching company because the brokerages don't provide these tools. And now we provide the same tools and training to the agents that join us here at eXp under this model. So, so just kudos to you for the success you've had. And I'm really looking forward to working with you and helping you build a very successful business here in your market here as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Likewise.
So I'm going to jump in on that, Paris. What some people don't realize is that you become our business partner. You're not just joining a brokerage. So Paris, why don't you comment to some of the things that you now have access to that I don't believe you had access to at any prior brokerages without buying it, right? Without paying a lot of money for coaching. So why don't you share, your opinion on that?
Well, some of the things I'm still learning a lot because technology is huge over here. And if you know anything about popular culture, you have to leverage technology to also scale, because that saves you a lot of time. And in here, I'm pretty, I guess, computer savvy, but you have to learn. There's a lot to learn, like KV Core, which is a CRM system. You have your free website and all of that. There's a huge database, and as day in, day out, you're going to meet people, but they don't always buy the next day. So you need a system to put that database in and then come back to them. But do you think your mind can remember all of that? Absolutely not, right? We're going to build so big. Some of the other things that I really like is in the comfort of your home, you can be, in your pajamas, for God's sake. We have live trainings. kid you not, 2 to 5 or maybe more a day. So it depends on how early you wake up or how your schedule is. One of the cool things that I went on was it teaches, I forgot the instructor's name, but it teaches you how to be, how to go live, social media, how to boost all that, because that's really a huge part of how we do business nowadays. If you don't have a social presence, you basically have no business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it teaches you how to not be afraid to be online, such
Right.
as today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's just a big opportunity. You've called me a few times and I've reached out to you, and I'm going to bring you to a listing appointment with me, to show you how I list a home. Another thing that I don't know if Jay knows, but Paris, you're in 2 states, right?
Yeah.
So one benefit here is we're one set of fees, no matter how many states you're in, right? We're one company, which is amazing. So actually, let's get into that a little bit, Jay. Let's talk about the model. Let's break down the cost for agents that are looking at this and want to know a little bit about it. So Jay, go ahead. You're the expert.
Sure. Yeah. So right out of the gates, the commission split, 80-20 split. It's very straightforward. There's no royalties, no monthly fees, no desk fees of any of that kind of stuff. And it's a 16,000 cap. Your technology fee is $85 a month. It covers SkySlope. It covers all the marketing systems and tools that you have access to create anything you can imagine. It includes your transaction management, SkySlope, and it includes your KV Core, which is your full IDX front-end website and back-end CRM for client management. It is super robust. Anything you can imagine, it does it for you. So those are all included, as well as the eXp Enterprise, everything that comes along with that, with managing, basically like having a CFO for your business. So yeah, those are, all of that is included for $85 a month. So that's basically the model. And the reason I think that this company has become so disruptive and they're able to add so much value back to the agent. And again, I think if you really want, if we really were to base the reason why we might be at a brokerage, of course we could say, yeah, well, I got some friends there and things of that nature. But like if you really truly got down to the what you're trading your money for to be there, it generally speaking is training and support. And so from a standpoint of just training and support, what this company has done by creating a cloud-based real estate office is you can obviously do more training and provide more support in a cloud environment. That's the benefit of having a cloud environment. So, and that's one of the major things that I think a lot of agents are attracted to. But with that, they're also in the business model itself saving literally hundreds of millions of dollars in brick and mortar because of the traditional way that a brokerage was set up. Traditionally, we all have been a part of the franchise system, which is how all of the bigger companies have grown, which they have a regional, ownership at the top. Then you have regional ownership that is bought this opportunity to go, get franchisees, and the franchisees go hire recruiters and build out bricks and mortar, and all this money involved in setting up your offices, and you're restricted to this one little area is all you can build your business within that franchise. And then us agents are kind of always been at the bottom, and we pay these royalties back up to the top, and then they split that with the regional person that has the region. So that regional person gets revenue share on all of the agents in the region. That's the traditional franchise model. I think from an agent's perspective, we feel like these fees never end. There's kind of really, there's no exit strategy. So you don't have any ownership. So if you leave, there's nothing really there for you at the end of your career. There's kind of limited support and limited training, as we kind of talked about already with Paris. And that's kind of the frustrating part about there's no real opportunity there, right? You can sell a handful of houses or a bunch of houses, and you're just paying more money in as you do that. So you tend to be like, okay, well, at a certain point, it makes sense to look at other options, I think. So this model, when you take away the regional opportunity and you take away these franchises and you remove all the walls of where you can build it from, the big question is, okay, well, as an agent, now we're all owners at eXp. We have shares of ownership in the company, and we earn stock, which we'll talk about here in a second, just through our production, which is cool. And then, we have the opportunity because the mechanism for growth in the old model was, you had to buy, the region and the franchisee go build that company through bricks and mortar. And because we don't have that, what eXp did was they said, well, why don't we just reward the agents that help us grow the company, and we'll let them earn that revenue share off of the agents they bring into the company. So, by eliminating all this cost and the infrastructure, becoming a more efficient business model, delivering more value to the agent, better technology, more service, more training, and then by creating ownership, and making us all owners in the company, it made a lot of the top agents in the industry want to join this company and then share what's working. Because why? We all are owners in the company. We all want to see the company succeed. And I joke about this all the time because my dad's company, my dad owned a Coldwell Banker franchise, still owns it today. And I went independent in 2011 after looking at purchasing the Coldwell Banker. And I just couldn't justify the fee structure and paying the fees that were involved in that. And I just knew it wasn't the right decision. Fortunately, he agreed, and he was happy that, to allow me to go do my own thing. But when I started thinking about, there was never a time, even if my dad wanted to share, which he didn't ever really share his vision for the company, and here's where we're going and any of that. But if he had, I would have always been in the back of my mind, that's fine, Dad. That can be your vision as long as it doesn't cost me any more money, right? I never wanted to see the company succeed. At any company I've ever been at, it was fine as long as it didn't cost me more money, right? Like that, I think as agents, we tend to be on board with anything until it starts to come into our pocketbook, and rightfully so. And I think that's the big difference though at eXp is because we all are owners in this company, we earn shares and ownership, that we actually really want to see the company succeed because that's our company, right? These are our shares too. It's publicly traded. You can, on NASDAQ, you can go buy the stock today if you wanted to. And we want to see this company do well. And so it creates a different culture where agents are the top agents in the world are coming over here for the opportunity. They're also sharing their best secrets with the agents in the company because they want everyone to win. It's just a perfect alignment and, something we've never seen really done before. And that's the reason it's growing as fast as it is. And we're able to help a lot more agents succeed over here.
Yeah. So,
what I missed.
let's see. I think you hit everything. I mean, a big thing, I'll just share one of my biggest reasons was the stock, right? So the equity ownership or agent ownership through becoming a shareholder. There's 5 ways to earn stock, guys, just by doing what we all do as realtors. And some people say, oh, you join eXp, you got to recruit people, or you're a recruiter. No, you're not. Here, look. Can you see that? Those are all the settlements I got coming up. I'm still selling houses. People are still calling me. They didn't leave me because I left a brand. So when you sell houses here, you get awarded stock. So 5 different ways. When you sell your first house every year, if you cap out, if you bring someone to the company who also sells a house, then you get awarded stock. If you sell enough houses, you can earn your entire $16,000 cap back in company stock. And then lastly, they have a savings program. Most companies are charging their agents 6%. Here, I can take 5% of my commission, which I did. I'm past my first full year, right?
Yep.
What I didn't do was take 6% of my last company or 5% of my last company. Why? Because it would have been a 10% loss, right? Because I had 2 5%, or 5.5 was the first one. So, at the end of the day, that would have hurt, my pocket. But here, it went in. I was able to buy the stock at a 20% discount. 12 months later, that looks good to me, to have that forced retirement. So that was my biggest thing. And then revenue share becomes a big opportunity. And, something that me and Paris dealt with today was, some fees that your broker charges, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So why don't you share what happened there, Paris?
So I've had a couple of friends who are agents, and they asked me about the conveyancing fee. And to their surprise, a good surprise, we don't have any conveyancing fee over here.
Right.
Yeah, so that's something that's really good.
Yeah. So in whatever market that agent was in, their broker is charging them, or charging the client a pass-through fee or, a transactional fee of X amount of dollars. They don't share any of that with the agent, but they're charging it to the consumer. The agent did the work, and now the agent, in this case, didn't charge the client, so it came out of her commission. I don't know what the fee was. I don't know the amount, but, that doesn't exist here, We're able to save so much money with less brick and mortar that it's your business to run it your way, So I guess, Paris, why don't you share, you saw this a long time ago. It's been about a year. You know, what took so long and what made you finally make the jump? Again, we all understand you were at 100%. So why don't you kind of share what really pushed you over the edge to come join us here?
Well, timing is everything, right? So Matt and I, we met at a function about a year ago, and we kept in touch. You follow up with me a couple times via Facebook, but the timing wasn't right. So then, we never actually initiated any move. So I felt like um, it's been almost 2 years now, and I felt like I needed more growth. It all comes back to that. As a lifelong learner, if you want to be good at anything, you have to always be learning every day. So with that mentality, I said, you know what? I feel stagnant at where I was. So then I interviewed a couple of brokers, and I was like, you know what? Everything's the same. So that's when I looked into eXp really hard, and then I said, you know what? This thing is different, it's unique, and I think it would provide me something that no other company has, and it surely is. I mean, what other company gives you agent ownership? None.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's why I'm here.
Good. And what you said there, you kind of became stagnant. That happens to a lot of agents and team leaders and, guys running groups. What I could tell you, Jay, I want you to comment on this because you've talked to a lot of people. But if you guys are selling real estate, right, and you're to the point where you feel it's redundant, right, and it's just all right, got to go figure. All right, I'm selling 3 houses a month now. My housing cost and my cost of living eats that up. Then I go to 5 houses a month. All right, now I eat that up too, right? You have a couple kids, and then it's like, all right, I need to sell 6 or 7 a month.
Right.
And then, if you can't get off that hamster wheel and are looking for a better way, I did feel a bit stagnant at my last company. I knew it was time for a change. And I can tell you that this changed my whole life. This made real estate fun again. Right.
Right.
And Jay, why don't you share, we talked to a lot of agents. Why don't you share, some of the opinions that you've got about how it kind of changed the way you do real estate?
Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was first getting into real estate, I used to go and invest in, these, I'd go to these little courses and stuff, and, you pay $150 or $200 to go sit in for a day. And I would go do these things, or I would go to like a Coldwell Banker International event, and I would come back and I would gone through all these classes. I got all these notes, right? And I would be like, Dad, let me share that at the sales meeting with all the other agents. And so like I would share all this stuff that like I knew these were things that either I'd done or I was doing and having some success with. I didn't just share ideas. I shared the things that I did and it worked, and then I would share it with the agents in our office. And it didn't take long before I realized that I was hanging out with a bunch of turkeys. Man, these weren't eagles. They weren't going to fly anywhere. And I got so frustrated with the environment that I was in, that the story Matt Wagner would tell you is that I moved out of my dad's office into the trailer house next door. It was not a trailer house, but it was kind of it might have been a double wide at one time, and it was rocked in and everything. It wasn't bad, but I'd rather be out there by myself than hanging out with the people in my office that were just not wanting to grow. And, if there's one thing that I think that might be keeping some people just aren't open-minded, aren't looking at it. Other people feel like, oh, I really like the people I'm hanging out with. But, what I would challenge you is that, show me your 5 closest friends. You would never allow your children to hang out with the 5 kids that are influencing them negatively. We would never allow that to happen. But we don't necessarily hold ourselves to a higher standard with the people that we run with in our real estate offices. And, I think that's something that everyone needs to look at. If you're not where you want to be financially, if you're not where you want to be in the success of your business, then show me your 5 closest friends in that office, and I'll predict your future. I think if you want to grow to the next level, you got to start being around people that are wanting to grow as well, and that are going to hold you accountable, and that honestly have a financial interest in your success. And that is the difference maker. When you have the 3 of us that have your success as we have an interest in your success, a financial interest, and you're not just our opportunity, you're our responsibility.
Mhm.
That's a big deal. That environment's a big deal to be in. And so I would say look closer if that's you. If you feel like that you're stagnant, you're not growing, or maybe that you're not holding yourself to a higher standard and you want to be in the room with people that kind of suck you up to the top, that's what this opportunity really is.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. So Paris, you're here. It's been a few weeks. So why don't we talk about who you think eXp is right for before we get out of here? Who do you think it's a good fit for and who isn't it a good fit for?
Everyone. Are you kidding me? Everyone. You guys are experienced agents. Brokers are coming in. I've listened to so many videos and seen so many videos. Brokers from already going to retire and own 6 franchises from KW are coming over. So it's only a matter of time. Get in when we're still on the ground floor. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. I made a move and I'm super excited about it. I'm ecstatic to be in this team in Jay and Michael Reed's hierarchy. So one of the trainings I want to talk about is with growth. I kind of stumble and I looked you up and your accolades and everything. And you're just so humble, Jay, with everything that you've accomplished. So I'm super happy to be in this team with you and Matt and to be growing our businesses and our teams. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I think if I told all of my failure stories, you probably would understand why I'm so humble.
Actually, I would be more humble because that's what made you today, right?
That is,
Jay. Yeah.
it is. It's no secret that the path to success is through failure. There's no way around
Absolutely.
it. There's only the way through it. And the more things you try, the more success you'll have. And the more you push to failure, the more the pendulum swings to success. So that's been the case for me. So but hopefully we can help you not make as many mistakes and grow your business faster. That's really what we're here for.
We have you.
Right. Well, happy to go crash through those walls first and help make it a lot easier for you guys. So it's a pleasure to be in business with you, and I'm looking forward to connecting and staying connected and hearing your story of success here at eXp, and really a privilege to be there. And I'll be, looks like probably coming back to the area in September.
Yes.
Yes, it does look like that. We are, guys, here's what I'll tell everybody. If you have a chance to get in a room with Jay and learn, whatever it is, we're going to do a couple seminars definitely on how to grow your real estate business. But if you get a chance to be around Jay and can hear, some of the stuff that he built and how he built his businesses, take that opportunity at any cost. All right. But sometimes that cost is on me. We're our group of sponsors and everything else. So when he comes in, come out, hang out with us. There's nothing that you won't leave. I guarantee you'll leave the room with some nuggets to help your real estate business, or any business. I've had people in those rooms, mortgage guys, title guys, that sit back and say, wow, the knowledge coming from someone who has successfully run $10 million worth of companies, right?
Yeah.
That's put yourself in that room if you can, if you have that opportunity. And Paris, it's great to be in business with you. We're here to support you. And if any of your friends or coworkers or past people that you've worked with want to get in touch with you, what's the best way that they can reach out?
They should know my cell phone, right? If anything, find me on Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
And I'll connect you with all the right people that have the right answer if I can't answer you.
Yep, absolutely. So again, thanks for coming. Thanks for everybody for watching. Great to be in business with you. We'll catch up with everybody again soon.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.